When we come back, we're going to talk about Hanukkah.
Sounds great.
How it happened, what it happened, and how the Jewish people celebrate. And it's not about Jesus, but they celebrate.
But is it?
But is it?
We're going to find out.
It's about the oil.
Well, and the light of the world.
Is the, okay.
I'm going to show your viewers something amazing when we come back.
Well, I'm anxious, so we're going to go to Dan and Melissa, and then we'll be back. Well, tell me about Hanukkah.
Yeah, there's a story behind Hanukkah, which we know that we have the Greek Empire had taken over Israel, but like most countries like that, empires like that, they let Israel continue to do some of their things, but we know the story of them going in and starting to have, worshiping the way they did and wanted them to come in. We know the story that they went in and they sacrificed a pig in the temple,
yes,
which would have obviously made it unholy.
Yes.
And then we have them going to a city and wanting the people to bow down to him. And one man, just one person, a little old Jewish, Levi, one of the priests, said no. And his sons stood up behind him. And remember, the Levites weren't they weren't the warriors. They were the ones who worked in the temple. These weren't big guys, but they serve a big God. And we actually see the first time we have guerrilla warfare. And the amazing thing is, just like it was prophesied in the book of Daniel, it says, for 2,300 mornings and evenings, Daniel chapter 7, around verse 9, talks about the time of the sacrificing taking place. Now, everyone looks at that and says, oh, it's 2,300 days. But when you read it, it talks about the sacrifices. Well, there's a morning sacrifice and an evening. So if you divide 2,300 divided by 2, it's 1,150 days. Almost to the day. We don't know the exact day, but we pretty much within, several days, we can say, guaranteed, that's how many years the battle was. 3 years, 2 months to the day that they started putting the idols, sacrificing idols in the temples. The Maccabees retook over Jerusalem and the temple. Now, the miracle that took place, remember, these were the Levites, so they went in to rededicate the temple. Well, how do you let the rest of the community know that you have the land? You light the 7-branch menorah, which could be seen miles. It could be seen as far as Bethlehem. I mean, this could be seen far away. So it would let the people in the surrounding areas know that they had retaken it.
Now, was that menorah? You're talking the one in the temple?
In the temple, so it's a 7-branch menorah.
But how could they see? They could see that from
because
Bethlehem?
Unlike our buildings, that the lights made to go in. The temple, the lights made to go out. So they would say that it could be seen for over 20 miles away.
Wow.
So here's the interesting, now they only found enough oil to last for 1 day.
Yes.
It takes 8 days to make the special oil because it had to be holy oil set apart for the temple. They had to make a decision. Do we light it for a day to let the people know, or do we wait 8 days and then do it? Well, the decision was to light it and let the people know. The miracle that took place was... It never ended. It's continued. The miracle of light. So that's what we celebrate. The Feast of Hanukkah is also called the Feast of Dedication. It's rededicating the temple.
Yes.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Do you have people to answer phones today?
Uh-huh.
Whoever calls in and gives me the verse where it's mentioned in the Torah or the half-Torah, what we call the Old Covenant, where Hanukkah is mentioned, I'm going to give them $1 million. All they got to do is $1 million.
It's not mentioned there.
Shh.
Oh.
I'll give them $2 million. Right? People were looking through their books really quick, right? The only place Hanukkah is mentioned is not in the Torah, not in the half-Torah, but in the renewed covenant. Now, here's the interesting thing. People say, I don't do it unless it's in the New Testament, right? So if you take your Bible to John chapter 10, you can go to verse 22, and it says, at the time of the Feast of Dedication, or at the time of Hanukkah, took place at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Yeshua was walking in the temple in the colonnade of Solomon. Now, here's an interesting thing. What temple was there at that time? The time of Yeshua, which temple standing?
That was the Solomon's temple.
No, that was David's temple.
temple.
But he's walking in Solomon's temple, the remains of the first temple. What does the Feast of Hanukkah remind us of? The Temple of Solomon. So we see him here in Jerusalem in the wintertime. Now, when you read all the other accounts of when Yeshua is in Jerusalem, it's only for the feast. He was never in there during this time. But he was there because back at the time of the temple standing, the celebration of Hanukkah, which is a man-made holiday, it was centered around the temple. And we see here that Yeshua mentions 3 different messages on being the light of the world. Now, they all center around Hanukkah. So let's see how this comes together. I want you to turn to your Bibles to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1.
Okay.
And we're going to look at Genesis chapter 1. We'll start off with right in the beginning. That's the easiest one, right?
In the beginning.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God, the Ruach HaKodesh, was hovering over the face of the earth. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and morning the first day. That's why the Jewish calendar always goes from sunset to sunset, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to skip down a couple verses, though, because I think it's important to realize, I think it's, let's see, verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens, and separate the day from night, and let there be a sign for the let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let the lights be in an expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light to the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that the light was good, and there was evening and there was morning. What day?
There was on the 4th day.
4th day. So for 3 days there was light, but there was no stars, moon, or sun. Where's the light from? And Yeshua said, "I am the light." Before the world was created, Yeshua was already there. He is the light that lit the world before God put the stars and the moon and the sun in place. So we see here the connection of our Messiah in this feast. Now remember, this is a man-made feast, though, right?
Yes.
But it points to our Messiah. If they can get a shot of our menorah, this is a Hanukkah menorah. If we can, someone zoom in on the menorah here. We'll get that shot there. There we go. The Hanukkah menorah. If you notice, there's 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and the one in the middle. So it's a 9-branch.
It's a server candle.
Right?
Yeah.
The Hanukkah is for 8 days, but there's 9 candles. There's always one taller than the other, called the shamus, or the serving candle. Our Messiah came not to be served, but to serve.
Wow.
And that candle lights all the other candles.
Wow.
It is the light of the world. And so we have this 9-branch menorah to remind us of the feast in which took place. Now, again, the reason for the extra one, 8 days it's celebrated, but there's that 9th one, that serving candle that lights all the other ones. And you have another menorah here. This is a little more Art Deco-ish one. Here's the neat thing. You can make these at home. You can make them with your kids. The only requirement is one candle. The shamus candle always has to be taller than all the others.
Candle.
So it can be in the middle like this one. It can be on the sides, anywhere you go, but it's always taller. So you can have the kids. At our congregation, we have contests each year on people making their own menorahs, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you know what's really neat about decorating for? How long did it take you to decorate this beautiful tree?
Yeah, a lot of a day, mostly.
A day? You know how long it takes me to decorate for Hanukkah?
Yeah, to put the candles in
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
3 minutes to find out where I put it from last year, and 2 minutes to put it out and put the candles on.
Yeah, but you know,
It's fun. Look at what God what he did. It tells us he ordered the stars and the planets.
Yes.
He did this all in the very beginning, day 4.
In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Right. Now, what does the word
him,
mean?
Just a minute, without him was nothing made that was made. The Word is Yeshua.
Right. And he is
Jesus.
The Word is the Torah. Also, you can look at the Word as the Torah,
the
right?
Torah.
And he is the living Torah.
Yes.
He says before, and again, we talked about this on the show in the past. In Judaism, they believe before the world was created, there were several things already in existence. 2 of them was the Messiah and the Torah, and we've shown that on past shows how we see that. Here again, he says, I am the light. What light? The light that was there in the very beginning, before everything was created. And the Hanukkah Menorah, you're not supposed to hide it. You're supposed to put it out your window so all the world can see.
Yeah.
He is the reason for the season. And guess what?
What?
Guess when he was conceived?
He at probably one of the feasts.
How about the Feast of Hanukkah?
The Feast of Hanukkah?
Yes.
Wow.
So we see that, and how do we do that? We know when John, right, was born, and we know when his father was in the temple, and it's the 40 weeks. You go all the way back. Yeshua is conceived at Hanukkah. He is the light of the world. And at Sukkot is his birth, with God dwelling among us. All of it comes together. It
all comes together. That's why I like when you come. You come with, so much knowledge. We were talking about Hanukkah.
Right.
Now, one of the things kids like about Hanukkah, besides making the candle sticks, they get presents for 8 days.
And you can gamble. Legal gambling.
Legal gambling.
So we celebrate, the whole holiday is about rededications, about the oil. So typically in a Jewish family or a Messianic family or a Christian family, because it's in
the Bible.
It's in the New Testament. So if it's in that word, you got to do it.
Yes, I love it.
I hear people say that all the time. I only do it if it's in the word. Well, there it is.
There it is.
And celebrate, it's very simple. You can go to our website, rabbiscott.com. We have a Feast of the Lord. And we have the Hanukkah on there, and you can do it. But how to do it? But very simple. You need some type of a 9-branch menorah. You can go to our website. We sell them. You get them. Target in Atlanta sells it, probably here too. And
Beth. I got this at
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond. I got this wild thing.
Right. So you can get them very easy. You light the first night you light 2 candles. It's the shamus plus one other.
And the shamus is a silver candle.
And you always then the second night you light a total of 3, and you keep on adding them until all of them are lit on the 8th day. And you play games like the dreidel. And the dreidel was used because when the Greeks would not allow the Jewish people to read the Torah, so they would pull the Torah out and they would read it. And when the soldiers came by, they would roll it up and act like they were playing this dreidel game, and that's why you do it. And it says on there, it has the 4 letters that stand for a great miracle happened here. Of course, the ones we have here in the States, it says a great miracle happened there. And so you play dreidel, so it's a very family-oriented time, and you get little gold coins filled with chocolate.
Yeah, my kids love that.
Oh, it's great. You make food. It's talking about not good for the stomach.
Yeah.
You have potato latkes and donuts, things made in oil. So it's a very festive time, and it fits right with the theme of they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. And that's how this feast is. So it's a great time. People do give gifts. It's interesting because back in the time of Yeshua, that most likely was not a gift-giving time. And it actually wasn't until really this modern day, because of all the intermingling with Jews and Christians, because Christmas falls so close to here. Usually within about a week, we'll have the different, the holidays. Next year, it's like 2 weeks early, but usually it's pretty close. Well, the Smith kid gets the gifts, and you can imagine after he gets these gifts for someone else's birthday. The Schwartz kid goes home to the father and says, Dad, I want to become a Christian. Why? Well, they get gifts for someone else's birthday. So he goes, I'll take care of that. Next year, the Smith kid comes up to his dad and goes, Dad, I want to become Jewish. Why? Well, they get gifts for 8 days. So that's why they came up with the song 12 Days of Christmas. He kept on having to outdo us.
That's funny.
But it's a great time. You can invite people over to your house. It's a great time of fellowship, friendship, and it's really remembering God rededicating the temple to his people.